Charlotte, yeah, absolutely fine.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, welcome everybody. And this is a presentation about change. There's a lot of change going on in our world and our environment. I'm Charlotte Phillips. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and a neurolinguistic programming practitioner. I've called my practice What Is Your Story Hypnotherapy. I'm also a propositions manager in IP&I in the communications team, and I'm also an APMG change management practitioner, and off the side of my desk I'm a wellbeing advocate, a lead for diversity, ethnicity and inclusion for gender and families in IP&I, and also a comms lead on the Steerco for Breakthrough. So you can tell I'm very much a people's person. And so what we've got up here, let me just change my slide. Me. And what we've got going on today is we're going to have a temperature check. Each session I run, I always do a temperature check at the beginning and at the end. And it's just to see where we are at. And this is a scale out of 1 to 5. And we've got 45 minutes, so I'll just give you a very brief overview about hypnotherapy and the benefits of it. We'll go through change. And also there's going to be 2 hypnosises. One quite short one, it's a mobile phone exercise about apps. And then do some mindset reframing, and then we've got a longer one which is about the seasons of hypnosis. So if you'd like to just complete out of 1 to 5 where you are and how relaxed or how stressed you are today, that'd be really helpful. Thank you. And this just gives us a good measure when we've got the end to see whether we've improved that score. Now, what is hypnotherapy? It isn't like Mowgli with Kira with the eyes going all the way around like spirals, and it isn't Kenny Craig look into my eyes, not around my eyes, or Paul McKenna doing, going to get everybody to cluck like a chicken. What it is it's beneficial to you. We all have the resources to make a change. And the National Council for Hypnotherapy describes hypnotherapy as activating clients' inner resources to achieve the goals that they desire. I describe it as the daydream. It's like a daydream. So when you're focusing on something in a daydream, you're actually visualising it, and you can start to feel things change. And it's that part of the brain, the theta and delta parts, that when you're being given suggestions under hypnosis, it just helps that change process quicken. So it's just like a daydream with suggestions, and these are the suggestions you would have, if you're working one-to-one with somebody, you would have discussed and that. And the suggestions I'll be giving here are just more like self-esteem, more generic, beneficial suggestions. As you can see on the slide here, we've got benefits of hypnotherapy, and there are many benefits here. We've got stress, depression, trauma, confidence, all of these things here, procrastination. And if you were going to use hypnotherapy, say for like fears and anxiety, one of the ways you'd use it is that you'd replay that fear, that anxiety in your own private cinema. So the cinema would be all decorated out. So the visualization part will be that you're comfortable and you're disassociated away from the fear, because there'll be a screen between you and the big screen, and you'd project the fear up onto the screen, and then you'd play that through, knowing that you're disassociated from it, so you won't have the same emotions that of the fear. And then you'd rewind it and fast forward it, and this time you'd play it really, really fast, and you'd give it a silly voice, make it really small, take the colour away, anything to change it. And by changing it means that you are in control of it and that you can get rid of it. And you might need to replay it a few times to be able to get that to disappear. And if you think about how many thoughts we have, I don't know who's counted these, but apparently we have over 50,000 thoughts a day. And if we start on a negative thought, it can get contagious, just like more, a worry. and you start worrying about something, and then it creates another worry. It's about catching that thought, catching that worry before it happens, and you go down that rabbit hole. And it's just, maybe focusing on something really irrelevant, like a pencil or just a word, anything, to bring your focus back to a neutral position and think of like a happy place, a positive image in your mind. And then that will create the contagious thoughts for positivity, for more happy thoughts. Now, if I can get you to put your fingers, we're going to do an exercise where we're just going to move the fingers round our head. And this is to help with widening your perspective. All day we're looking ahead, straight here, and sometimes it can be quite limiting with our tunnel vision, and then we might feel a bit of overwhelmed with choice and things like that. And so by doing this exercise, it can help widen our perspective, which will also widen our choices. So just with our forefingers, just put them up in front of our eyes and just follow them as much as you can round to your ears. And then you can go as far as one, and you can just still see them, and it just helps you widen your vision, which also widens your options and choices. So it helps you think more out of the box by doing that exercise. And when not to use hypnotherapy, there are some situations which some will be obvious to some people. Somebody's drunk, addicted to drugs, and they've got severely depressed. And it's because their reality might not be as our reality is. There are also situations where people may have epilepsy or serious heart condition. They can still have hypnotherapy. It just means it needs to be double checked with the doctor or their care provider. I think we've got another poll coming up. So we're talking about research, and I've just put this slide up to give you some scientific evidence. Thank you, Kerry, thank you. And this is about the efficacy of hypnotherapy. There's many studies out there. If you want to check a topic and see whether what science is behind it, you could go onto Google Scholar or PubMed, and it'll give you the research papers. There's 3 I've just picked here that gives some good research back up. 79% of people who received hypnosis, reduce their anxiety levels. It adds to your confidence, your self-efficacy, performance. There's a lot done with like footballers, singers, all sorts. And also, I've got up here about the university students more confident after public speaking. There's also evidence with it helping with cancer as well. Thank you very much, Kerry. So, in one word, how would you describe change? There's quite a few on here. And so we've got unsettling, overwhelming, uncertain, challenging, busy, freeing, exciting, tiring, yes, daunting. So there's some emotions there as well. And it's about thinking about what these words mean and what do we, attribute to them. Essential, yeah? Because if you look at the picture there of the trees changing, the seasons, it's just a natural part of our, of our world. It's nature. Nature changes, we change, we grow, and then everything around us changes as well. So there must be a better way. So if there's something that we're doing and we're not achieving, it's making us feel upset or overwhelming, if we change our behaviour and the process that we're doing, we can find a better way. Because poor Pooh Bear here, getting bumped on the head every time he comes down the stairs with Christopher Robin's. Bump, bump, bump. And as far as he knows, it's the only way of coming down the stairs. And he knows that must be a better way. And if we can think of another way of doing things that will help benefit us while we're going through a change, that will help us feel a lot better. This exercise is, so if you're in that place where you feel worry, anxiety, or maybe the negative thoughts are becoming overwhelming and you're feeling tired and you just want to rebalance. So if you take your hands, one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach, you can do this at your desk, you can do this anywhere, people won't really notice what you're doing. And then as you breathe in, say the words to yourself, I am. And as you breathe out, calm. And you can do this a few times. I am calm. And as you're saying this to yourself and you're connecting your hands to your body, you're reducing your anxiety and your worries, and you're focusing on the word calm and being calm. And it's a great exercise to do, as you can see on the slide. You can practice at any time of day, anywhere, and it will really settle you. And it's one you can share with colleagues and your family as well. It's a nice, easy, I am calm. And the more you say I am calm, the more it brings you back into that calm place. Here we've got the stages of change, otherwise known as the change curve. It's very similar to the stages of grief, and it doesn't have to follow this pattern at all. People can experience any one of these at any time. So it might be that people, thanks Kerry, this poll is just, do you view change, just how do you view it? Mainly good, mainly bad, or both? And so with the stages of change, with the first stage that's on the curve, it's about shock. And what this can be is about your expectation. So something isn't as you expected. And it could be as simple as you go into a shop and you're really a polite person and you say hello, ask the person how they are, and they just ignore you. They're not smiling, they're quite stone-faced. And then you pay for your goods and you say thank you, and still nothing, absolutely nothing from them. But you expected them to behave like you behave. You expected them to say hi, thank you, how are you, have a nice day, all of those pleasantries. But we don't know what's going on in their world, what's happened to them. They might have had a bereavement. They might be, distressed. We don't know. And our expectation, we expected their behaviour to fit in with ours. And then we can be upset by their behaviour, but we've chosen to be upset by our own expectations. What you can do is know that you did everything that you could. You were polite. You might have made their day. You don't know. And just take it as that and not get upset. Another thing is like acceptance on the board here, on the curve. You've got letting go of old attitudes and behaviours, which can lead into that Pooh Bear going down the stairs. By changing the way that we interact with people, our attitudes and behaviours, so like if you're in a traffic jam or behind a really slow driver, and you're getting wound up, you're not doing yourself, you're putting that stress into your body, raising your heart rate, raising your blood pressure, and it's just accepting that moment that you're just going to have to wait, and you'll get to where you need to go in good time. And other things on this change curve, like disbelief, denial. Again, if we're going to behave like that, it's natural for us to experience it, but it's taking stock and recognising when we are experiencing these emotions and these feelings, is how is it actually serving us? Is it helping us with our health and with our well-being? And then, there's quite a few that you can get examples on there. So this next slide. And with change, we all have the capacity to change. We can all change the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we behave. And it's by changing our focus, what we are focused on. And you might notice this, when you're in the office, and you start talking to somebody and they bring up something and they might start moaning, and then you're focusing on that, and you catch yourself going into that conversation. Yeah, I know that. I can't believe that happened. And before you know it, you're away and you're focusing on something that you most probably didn't plan to, that isn't really that beneficial for well-being. And it's just catching these things, or what are we focusing on? Because the more we focus on something, the more it can happen to us. And exposure to new ideas, change, can be a good thing as well. And as most of you have put in the poll, like 80% of you, that it's both. So you can think of it as, with change can come new ideas. So if you think about in our own society, how change has happened, like with technology, creating new ideas, the experiences we have, the things that you can, just book a holiday online. You don't have to go to a shop, make an appointment. It's nice to do that if you still want to. But all of these things, it's a lot fast-paced world, but we have more opportunities through the different changes that we have. And the effects of change, that worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles, it takes away tomorrow's peace. And when you think of that, and you really ponder on that, if you're worrying, and most people do have a worry, and that's quite natural, but it's just about recognising what you're worrying on. And you're worrying about something in the future that hasn't happened yet. So it's about playing the stories in our mind for how we do want things to happen, rather than how we don't want them to happen. And that's where the hypnosis and all these tools I'm going to get to in a minute, to help you. So change can cause stress, which, as we know, can develop physical and mental symptoms. You can make adjustments with your change, but you can also develop new skills. You can break old patterns, things like that. So resisting change. If we resist change, because it's the fear of the unknown, which again is a lot of people, they want to stick with what they know. It's more comfortable, rather than it could be better what the change is happening. And it might be that, it's a lack of understanding of why the change is happening, or what the benefit is for this change. And it's just weighing all of these resistance up. Is it serving me to think like this? Is it attacking my values and beliefs? Do my values and beliefs that I have still serve me? Because a lot of ours come from our parents, our teachers. We inherited them, and we should take stock on them and see if they still serve us. All of these things can help the resisting change. And here, just before I go through the thought recording sheet, do another exercise. Oh, thank you. This is a word cloud. What is the one thing you're worried about change? If you can just put an answer in here. If anybody's got any worries about change. The unknown, yes, stress, accuracy, that's interesting. It is the unknown. But then everything is, and again, it's going back to that, what do you want to happen? If you got in a car and you don't know where you're going, but you've got the sat-nav, and you put that sat-nav in, it will direct you exactly to where it is. If you get in that car and you don't know where you're going, you can be driving around for ages until you run out of fuel. And that's the same with us, if we're not planning our lives, having a vision, a goal, something that we're aiming for. And so if you're going to do a change, it's like looking at it like we do with our work and working through it. So with the thought recording sheet, there's a copy of this on the Is Your Story Hypnotherapy Engage channel. And so you can use this and you can adapt it for whatever you would like to change or work on. And it's just looking at your emotions, your moods. So say like if you wanted to lose weight, and you notice that you eat more when you were anxious. Well, what's making you anxious? Because you can be on the best diet, but it's actually about the emotional eating and helping that and working that through. It could be on anxious. One of my clients, she was learning to drive, lovely young girl, and really nervous, very, very anxious. We did 2 sessions and I gave her a strict regime to follow, and then I got into contact with her after the first session to see how she was going, and because I always do that in between my sessions. It's like accountability. And she said, oh, I haven't practiced. So she hadn't followed the instructions. And I said, what are you doing? What are you doing at night time? And she said, I'm reading all the things on Facebook on my phone. And the first thing I'm doing in the morning is I'm reading all these things on my phone. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that was causing the anxiety. And after 2 weeks of her not changing her evening routine, so reading a book instead and not having the phone in the bedroom, so she wasn't watching it or looking at, Facebook in the morning, she was so much more calmer, much more relaxed. She was owning her own thoughts a lot more, so it was less reactive, what she was thinking. And by following this thought recording sheet, you can notice things like that, which you wouldn't see or people wouldn't think anything of it, but it's the little details that can really help with the triggers. Thanks. And that leads nicely into the next question. So who looks at their phone at bed before going to sleep or when they wake up? All of these are anonymous, by the way. It just gives good insight and can help you think about what's going on in your world. And all it is, mobile phones are great. But if we're looking at things on Facebook or on Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok, we react to what we see. We're not planning what we want to see. And so then, that can really affect our moods. Also with the lights, the mobile phone lights, which I'll go into a bit more detail in a bit, can really activate the brain, which activates more of the cortisol, which activates more of the stress. So let's see what we've got here. So yes, in morning only and 63% to when I wake up, yes at night and when I wake up. So that's for the both, isn't it? And that's really quite high, and that's consistent because I've asked this a few times in different group presentations that I've been doing at Lloyd's, and it's quite consistent that figure. I mean, I do sometimes as well, even though I know all this stuff, it's like, be the change. And I am, but it's tempting. But if you are noticing that you are more of a worrier and you are prone to anxiety, then I would suggest changing your routine with your mobile phone. That would really help and be more beneficial for you. So now, if you can get comfortable, this is just a short hypnosis exercise. And it's about mobile phones and all of the apps on the phone that you're going to visualise when I ask you to close your eyes. They're all positive apps, all about your personality traits. And then as we are going through them, you'll find one that you want to change. And so I'll just walk you through that change. It won't take long. So if you, with your feet firmly flat on the floor and your hands just resting on your lap, not touching, and just find a spot just above your computer screen, so it's slightly uncomfortable with your eye level, but with your crown up to the ceiling. Just allow your eyelids to flutter, and this is adopting the hypnotic mindset. And when you're ready, just close your eyes. That's it. And in your mind, just imagine you're looking at your phone. And you're just flicking through your phone at all the wonderful apps you have on it. Looking at your personality traits of how calm you are, what a good leader you are, how caring and loving you are. And you're smiling to yourself, really enjoying looking at all of these lovely personality traits that you have. You're thoughtful, analytic, good communicator, good at making decisions. And then as you're flicking through, you notice one that you would like to change. And so with your finger, you press down on that personality trait and you select the uninstall button, and you just watch it uninstall from your computer screen, from your mobile phone screen. And you carry on flicking through, and you see confident, team player, funny, happy, all of these lovely personality traits. And then you come across a gap, and you think about that change that you want to make, and you go up to the App Store and you select the change, that personality trait that you want to change. You select it, what the change is that you desire. And as you select it, you click download and you watch this change that you desire go round, and you install it onto your phone, into your personality. And you can feel it going into your brain. And then you look down onto your mobile phone and you see all the personality traits there, and your new change, your desired change is there as well. And you're flicking through all your personality traits and smiling to yourself at how confident you are, how loving and caring. And you see the one that you've just added, and it makes you smile and happy. And you can really feel that change starting to take place. Now, it's a wonderful thing you've done, invested time in yourself today. And the more you do this, the more confident you are. And the more confident you are leads to being more competent in everything you do. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And on 5, you'll be able to open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Open your eyes. Thank you. And that's just a short hypnosis. We've got the longer one in a minute. I'm just going to go through the neuro-linguistic part. And this is just a slide really for more information, that when you're creating a change, it's like a new habit. And the more you practice that change, so like after 2 weeks to 3 weeks, you've really started a new habit and you need to embed it. And the more you practice, it will create a new neuro pathway. And you can find out more from neuroscientists like Dr. Caroline Leaf or Dr. Tara Swart. There's lots of information online about that. But the earliest is like 21 days, but you have to keep practicing it. It's consistency, focus and consistency really helps with changes and new habits. And then if you think about the word calm, when you look at a word, just by looking at the word calm, and I've put it in blue, you might have another colour that you might choose to put the word calm in. But for me, calm in blue just helps me feel calm. And if I was, you've got the I am calm exercise, but also if you felt worried and that you could imagine this word in your mind. It can also work with energy, and it also works with the word easy. So you can have an easy button, and you can also imagine, like in big neon lights, easy. So with an easy button, if you've got a piece of work or somebody that whenever an email pops in or it's starting to make you feel very uncomfortable and you're really not looking forward to it, you could start relabeling it as easy. Even though it isn't, it's just you're changing your mindset of how you consider it. And just by starting your day saying everything's easy, I've got the easy button, I'm just going to press my easy button. Whatever works for you, just try it out. And everything will be easy for you. The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem. I know this might sound harsh, but it's about how we adjust our attitude. Like I was explaining about going into a shop or in the traffic jam. So it's how we approach it. So if we are considering things to be hard and difficult, then we will find them hard and difficult because we're labelling them in that way. Even though they will be, but the more we practice and make it easier, the more it will become easier for us to do it. And so it's just adjusting how we approach our thoughts to them. So with things like, some people might say, oh, I don't like change, oh, change is not good. But then if we look around nature, we can see change happens all the time with the trees. And people will often say, I love autumn because I love seeing the trees changing with all the different colours. So it's, it's like rephrasing there, or like change is hard and difficult. Change gets easier and easier each day. And often I hear as well, nothing works out for me. And it's like flipping that so that things do. Things are always working out for me. And you might have sayings that that work for you, so you can adjust these and come up with your own. And if you start using these, you might want to put a post-it note on your screen just to remind you of something good. Another one that's really good is every day and every way I'm getting better and better. That's a really good one to use as too. And then you're rewriting your story for the desire that you want, to live the life that you want, for the outcomes you want. And then you're turning your inner critic into your inner coach that's going to have your cheerleader voice. Because if you listen to the voice that's in your head, you want to just take a note. How are you speaking to yourself? Would you speak to your loved ones and your best friends like that? If not, then pretend you are, so that you are being more nicer to yourself. And it's quite common for people to give them, oh, why did you do that in your head? And give yourself a bit of a telling off. But think about how you're doing that, because it doesn't serve you in the long run. And it's just tweaking that language and be nice to yourself. You deserve it. And then modelling body language. So if you look at the images over here, and that somebody's hunched down and everything, do they look approachable? And they don't look very happy. Whereas you look at the high power pose, if you just try this exercise now, just put your arms up like that. And it's the winner's pose, raised arms, head, open stance. And as soon as you're doing that, you're lifting your energy up to your brain. You're giving signals to your mind, which is activating like the dopamine, all of these things boost your mood. And if you're doing a presentation, hands on your hips with your hands like that, that's more of a power pose and it's more comfortable. All of these things just change your state of mind by changing your facial expressions, by changing your stance, by using the words, the positive words. All of this can really just help you change your state of mind, to get you in a better place for your health and your well-being. All of these things. And smiling, it can lower the heart rate. It's really good for us to smile. It sends those dopamine and serotonin that boosts our moods. There's lots of science about with hypnotherapy getting people to smile when they're depressed, even though they don't want to smile. Because even if it's a fake smile, the brain doesn't know. So whatever the brain can believe, the brain will achieve. So you're smiling and eventually you will smile naturally. So there's lots of science in that too. Now I'm ready for changes of the season. So this hypnosis is about trees. It's more of a metaphor. So if you can get ready and comfortable, it's just take us to the end, this will. And with your feet firmly flat on the floor, and your hands just resting on your lap, and with your eyes, just that spot on that ceiling, just slightly uncomfortable with your raised eyes, but not moving your crown, just allowing your eyelids to flutter. And this is adopting the hypnotic mindset. And just allow them to close. That's it. And in your mind, you've got a mind's eye. And this mind's eye also has an eyelid that's getting heavier and heavier. And just pop that eyelid closed. That's it. And take a deep breath in and out. And on the next breath, breathe in your favourite colour. And this colour is beautiful. really calm and relaxing. And you can feel this beautiful calm colour coming into your body, relaxing all the muscles around your eyes, relaxing all the muscles in your face, around your nose and your mouth, just allowing everything to relax, relaxing your chin, this beautiful calm colour coming into your body with each breath you breathe, relaxing all the muscles in your throat. Just allow your shoulders to drop, relaxing all the muscles across your back and down your arms, really relaxed and calm, all the way to the tips of your fingertips. This beautiful calm colour coming into your body, relaxing all the muscles across your chest. And just notice the rise and fall of your lungs with each breath you breathe. And just connect with your lungs and just thank them for an amazing job they do for you. Now moving over to your heart, just connect with your heart and just notice what an amazing job it does for you. Now moving down to your stomach, connect with your stomach and just notice what a wonderful job it does for you, digesting all your food, keeping you fit and healthy, and just thank it. Now this beautiful, calm, relaxing colour coming into your body, relaxing all the muscles down your hips, all the muscles down your legs, really calm and relaxing, all the way down your ankles to the tips of your toes, really relaxed now. Now we're going to go on a little walk, we're going deeper and deeper into hypnosis, and just follow my voice and the suggestions. You're out for a lovely day, a lovely walk in nature, and you're in your favourite park, a place that you know well, and it's a lovely day. You can hear the birds in the sky, looking around at nature, the changes of the season, and you can see the shift in the vibrant colours of the autumn, the golden hues of autumn, feel the cool breeze of fall, knowing that this change is natural and inevitable, just as in your life. Change comes as part of flow, when the leaves fall gently to the ground, as if surrendering to what is, letting go of the old and making room for the new. And as you're walking along, you notice one big tree, and it's stood there for a long time. And you're looking at how magnificent it is and realising it's been there throughout many changes. And it's always regrows bigger, it has regrowth, it renews its energy and its inner strength. Each season it sees through, the leaves change on the tree and it grows and it's very strong. Whatever the wind blows, the branches still remain. And as you're standing there looking at the tree, you're thinking about all the things that you've weathered in the life and how you're still standing just like the tree is. You're resilient, able to let go of the changes and the worries and the challenges you've had. You have that inner strength too. You are unshakable to the core and you're able to carry through every change with resilience. You're adaptable, you're capable, and no matter what changes come your way, you know you can handle them with grace and ease because you are connected, just like this tree is, to yourself, to nature. And as you embrace this truth, you begin to feel a real sense of calm and confidence growing within you, a quiet assurance that no matter what leaves fall from the trees of your life, new leaves will always grow, new opportunities will always come, and you'll always be ready to move forward stronger than before. Now just take a moment to just capture all of this in your mind, knowing that you can come back to this hypnosis whenever you need to. It's a wonderful thing you've done today, invested time in yourself. And the more you invest time in yourself, the more confident you are in everything you do. And the more confident you are in everything you do leads to being more competent in life, in everything you do. And being more competent in everything you do leads to being more physically relaxed, which leads to being more mentally relaxed in everything you do, which leads to having a good night's sleep tonight and every night going forward. Now in a moment I'm going to count from 1 to 5. On 1 you start feeling your toes tingling. On 2 you start feeling your fingertips tingling. On 3 be more aware of the room around you. On 4 be more aware of the sounds around you, but you can always come back to this hypnotic mindset and revisit whenever you need to. And on 5 you'll be able to open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Open your eyes when you're ready. Hopefully you could follow that through and you could see your tree. And if you wouldn't mind just giving it where you are now on a scale of 1 to 5. Stressed. That's lovely, thank you. That's really good. And as we come to the end, and I've just been dead on with timing, so we've got 1 minute left. There's a feedback form, and we'll drop the links in the chat. If you wouldn't mind doing the feedback form, it's just quick questions about how you found this session, but also what other topics you would like covered. And if you would like an MP3 of the, an audio, then I will email you outside of work if you give me permission to, and I'll send you a link. Also, I have lunchtime sessions, the next one's tomorrow, every fortnight, so you just email me and I'll add you to the invites. And it's just half an hour, 25 minutes, on a topic of change. And also, if you do have a chance, please could you do me a Google review? That would really help for outside for What Is Your Story. So thank you very much. Oh, and there's the 20% discount as well if you ever wanted one-to-one sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you.
I would just like
Thanks
to
so
say on
much.
behalf of everyone, thank you very much for doing this session for us. That was great and very much appreciated. I hope everybody got something from that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Charlotte.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.